Hello everyone and welcome back to Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix on Critical Mode on the PlayStation 4. In the last episode, we finished everything we could do over at Space Paranoids. We could go back right now actually and do the Light Cycle minigame for Jiminy's Journal completion, but instead we need to go and tackle what is happening in the world, which is some crazy stuff, including, but not limited to, the fact that Hollow Bastion is completely under attack, as we saw at the end of the last episode. So in this episode, we are going to do the battle for Hollow Bastion. Let's go ahead and talk to Donald. The king went on ahead by himself. We have to hurry after him. And Goofy, that explosion came from outside, right? It must be awful out there. This looks like it's going to be a long battle. Are you ready, Sora? Great question. Yeah, I am.
Hear me, my heartless. Attack the white husks. Sweep them away.
What are you, nuts? We're never gonna win. I don't know about you, but I'm out of here, sister.
You pathetic coward. Heartless, leave the white ones. Turn your attention to Sora and his friends. Uh-oh!
It looks like we have to fight a bunch of enemies and Heartless and Nobodies that were originally fighting each other. Now, something that you need to watch out for right away is these new Nobody types called Dancers. These guys can shred through Sora's health. I'm talking they can grapple and then do about 30%. Luckily, Sora did level up, which is really nice. These right here are Dancers. They give a ton of experience, but they do go down super easily. We can also focus on these new enemies, these Crimson Jazz, which are basically upgraded versions of the first game's Red Nocturnes, which we can go ahead and take down and get a ton of experience for doing so. And of course, a bunch of dust that we can go ahead and destroy. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Don't worry, we'll be seeing a lot more of these enemies for sure.
Where's Maleficent?
Looks like she ran away.
Well, that was pretty lame of her.
I guess we picked the wrong side.
Lame when
She
it was
gets okay
supposed to
at
be
this world.
chivalry.
You
Right?
right.
I mean,
Minus
look,
58
they
respect
mentioned
points for
completely and
her.
totally lame Miss
So I
Azeroth.
figured
She'd be okay with that. Why are the goblins without
because she
treasure?
seemed that
We're
way.
like treasureless wings or something.
I thought this was our big
Hey,
chance,
if you're looking to
you
pick
know?
sides, why don't you pick Leon's? They can always use help.
Does this Leon have any treasure?
Yeah, lots of stuff. Perfect.
Come on,
Who are you?
Oh, we're nothing worth mentioning.
just 3 treasure fanatics.
Later, taters.
Did Leon really have any treasure? We don't have time for you. Whoa!
Sora and Sephiroth.
Ain't Sephiroth the one who's supposed to be the dark part of Cloud's heart?
Did Cloud tell you that? Then he must understand now.
Just what are you gonna do to him?
Nothing. Cloud is the one who hungers for darkness.
He said he's got a score to settle with you.
I see. He wants to meet me again. then I should give him what he wants. That last bit of light is always the hardest to snuff out.
Huh? They came from that hole over there. This is a brand new spot. A brand new zone introduced in the final mix version of this game. This was not here in the original game whatsoever of Kingdom Hearts 2. I don't remember that being there before. I wonder where it leads. We don't have time for that now. We have to go after the king. Okay, but we could check that out, which is, of course, let's save though. All right, so we could head into this, like I was saying. So remember in the last episode when I said things are going to get pretty darn crazy from here on out? As you can tell, the appearance of Sephiroth really does say that I'm right. This is the Cavern of Remembrance that was added in the final mix version of the game. It did not exist in the original. We are not going to go in there yet. We are just not equipped to handle that place just yet. But don't worry, in a future episode, we will be going and taking it out. The town is crawling with Heartless and Nobodies. What's going on? Leon and the others headed toward the Bailey. We better go find them. Indeed, Goofy says, so that was Sephiroth. He does look a bit like Cloud. I'd like to tell Cloud, but we have to help the others first. Right, Goofy, right. So, you know what? I'm gonna actually show you guys what this looks like, but we won't actually really deal with it right now. Here you go, Cavern of Remembrance Depths. It is pretty cool. Right here, you can use this to just attack repeatedly and refill your drive gauge. That's something that you can do as well. Right up here, we can go ahead and pick up an AP boost, which is pretty useful. But that's as far as I would recommend going. There's no real reason to go down here or into this room because you're just going to end up fighting very, very challenging Heartless that you don't need to deal with right now. But this is where a bunch of secret bosses are located. And we will be, like I said, dealing with them when we're a little bit more equipped as a party and as a team. So until then, let's continue on with the actual story of Hollow Bastion. With the music, you know, being all badass.
We'll help.
Sora, behind you!
These are called Dancer Nobodies, and you are in for one hell of a fight. Seriously, this one part right here is absolutely horrible. It is so hard to deal with this right now. These guys just do so much damage, and we just don't really have any way of really dealing with them in any real capacity. We do have Magnet Spell, which we could use if we so choose, which we'll actually use right here, and hopefully that should take out some of them. Now you'll actually notice that that gives a ton of experience, which is really, really good for us, and then immediately another Dancer is going to spawn, which is not ideal. That is not what we want at all, but hey, you have to deal with that. Now, I'm actually going to get ready here because we are going to use a limit. Hopefully, as soon as these next ones spawn, we are going to go ahead and use this, and then we are going to use Ultima, which hopefully will do a ton of damage to all of these, and then we will go ahead and hit them with Mega Drive. And that should hopefully take out all of these Dancers, at least I hope, because my god, do they do a ton of damage. Oh no! Oh, good, we got it. We got the last one. So hard, that part. Pretty tricky.
The king's in the Bailey. You better head over there.
Got it. Whoa.
Think you can handle this many?
Well, might be tough if one more shows up.
Then that'll have to be the one I take care of.
What? You're fighting too?
Sephiroth!
I understand that you've been looking for me.
Yeah. Once I get rid of you, the darkness will go away.
Can you do it? That darkness comes from your own dark memories. Do you think you can erase your past?
Shut up!
Face it. You turn your back on the present and live in the past. Because the light of the present is too much.
You don't know me!
Cloud!
I know. Because I am you.
Cloud! Wait! Huh?
Leon, everybody, hang in there.
Sora saw all that from that far away. So remember when I said that things are gonna get crazy and everything's super intense? Again, I just wasn't lying to y'all. I don't know why you all thought I was. I'm just kidding. Nobody actually thought I was. So there's actually nothing we can get up here. I was just coming up to show that this is originally where we were, but now this is all destroyed. We can't actually get this just yet, just because we don't actually have our drive forms up there yet. But eventually we will be able to. Now, a lot of speedrunners actually call this part coming up the Final Fantasy fights. So be prepared for a boss fight. Now, something that I would recommend is possibly, if you can, maybe even going back and saving. There we go. So we were able to deal with those. Those guys can be kind of punishing. So let's go back all the way up to where we were before and just try to see if we can avoid all of the enemies. Because we want to go save after that dancer fight, just so we don't have to do it again, because it was pretty darn tough. So back in the restoration site, roughly right where we just fought those Heartless, we can deal with a few of these sentries and, of course, the big old Morning Star that we already dealt with previously. Now, again, we are just going to hopefully be able to kind of take these out, or at least do a ton of damage to be able to at least hurt them. Again, they give good experience, and right now isn't the wrongest time to go ahead and get some of those levels that I've been talking about. We actually could use some, especially considering that this is really when the game gets real, like I've been saying. So being able to kill these and kind of being able to get those few little early levels, or late levels I should say, is not the worst idea. Unfortunately, we did kind of take some damage there, so let's just go ahead and save, or heal. And I did go back to save just because I do think that's a good idea. And we do want to grab these chests as well, which has an AP boost in that one, and of course, a moon recipe in that one, which is pretty useful. Now, this is a good time to get those items. These are the not the Rising Suns, the guys that we've been dealing with. They're super easy to take care of, pretty much free XP, just consider them like that. Now we can move actually out of the restoration site and into these Morning Stars if you so choose. Again, we do have the security system that is actually helping us and fighting for us right now. We'll actually go ahead and use that Sparkle Ray, which finally we were actually able to see what it does right there, which is a ton of damage to this Morning Star enemy. And again, that experience is just too good to pass up. And then we will head back into the Bailey. And we'll actually continue to where we needed to go in the first place and avoid any enemies that show up, at least until we get all the way over here. Look at this. God, it looks so good.
Okay, fellas, you've got to go find Riku and Kairi.
But Leon and the others are friends too.
Don't worry, there's already lots of help here. We'll take care of this fight.
But I promised Leon.
Donald, Goofy, take Sora and get going.
Riku, Kairi, give me a little time, okay?
Your Majesty!
We understand. We'll go search for Riku and Kairi.
Right. Watch for danger.
You be careful too!
Wait, you guys!
Sora, do as you're told.
You're coming with us whether you want to or not.
Come on, Sora. You gotta be good.
Gotcha.
Well then, skedaddle.
Let's go.
Whoa!
I'm sorry, Your Majesty.
Hope you can forgive us.
Master Ansem, regarding the experiment I presented the other day, with your permission, I'd like to proceed.
I forbid it! Forget this talk of doors and the heart of all worlds. That place must not be defiled.
But Master Ansem, I've been thinking...
They are not. Those thoughts are best forgotten.
It has been far too long, friend.
Zexion! Zexion!
Right here. What is it?
Where is Lord Xemnas?
His usual spot?
The Chamber of Repose?
Yes. Go and see for yourself.
That isn't funny! I suppose I have no choice but to wait. But the clock is ticking. Time is running out. What to do? Why is he never around when I need him? It's almost as if he knows I'm looking for him.
You know, I don't like that place either. What about you, Zexion? What do you think?
I think eavesdropping is intrusive. Why are you even here? You and Xaldin were tasked to recruit new members. Have you forgotten, or were you procrastinating?
As if. I'm doing my job. I'll have you know, I found one just yesterday. Mar something. That puts the organization's count at 11. And since I've been working so hard, I had Lexius take my place for the day. I want to rest up for tomorrow, so I can wake up feeling nice and refreshed.
Is that so? Well then, I will leave you to it. I have work to catch up on. Good day.
Oh, don't be like that. Come on, stay and talk. Isn't it time you told me about Xemnas' secret? How long ago was it? When a bunch of warriors wielding key-shaped swords appeared and unleashed a spectacular battle. And when it was all over, all that was left was a man lying unconscious without his memories. Xemnas, Xehanort, was found by Ansem right around then, wasn't he?
Your point?
The Chamber of Repose. If you recall, that's where we spent our time researching the darkness that resides within people's hearts. It's a graveyard that was sealed by order of Ansem the Wise. The first thing Xemnas did once he got rid of him was to undo the seal and build a room in the back. Ever since then, he holds himself up in that room when he can and he talks to someone. But who? For all I know, he's the only one in that room.
Need I repeat myself about eavesdropping?
Not eavesdropping. Couldn't hear what they were saying. Dying to find out what it was, though. You wouldn't know anything about it, would you?
I know I would very much like to focus on my own duties. As you should with yours. For we need to prepare the new facility immediately. But there are only 11 of us in the organization. We're going to need a few more hands on deck.
What new facility? Oh, you mean Castle Oblivion. What does Xemnas plan on doing with that place, anyway?
He already shared his intentions with us.
But did you know there's something he didn't share? The Chamber of Repose is part of a pair. The Chamber of Waking is the other. Another graveyard, if you want to call it that. It was constructed by someone other than Xemnas himself. And that's where he'll find it. That's where he'll find his other friend.